Well, here we are in what no one ever in their right mind would ever dare to even disagree with. The world is currently in the midst of one of the most severe influenza pandemics the world has ever seen. I think we can all agree that is a fact that is going on right now. And, as someone who likes history, we will look back on this time and we will look to the leaders who we can see are clearly doing the right thing versus the leaders who aren't. And there will be one question had to be asked about why these leaders who didn't react and whose countries got so bad, why did it get so bad? What was the cause? What were the policies in place that made it happen in those countries that weren't in place in the others? Or if there were those similar policies in place, why then did it not have the same effect? Now, ultimately, in the UK, we are, at the moment, we have to get an extension to this transition period. There is no doubt in anyone's minds that has to happen, and it has to happen soon. But yet, no one is talking about it. Brexit has to be extended. You can like it, Brexit, or you cannot like Brexit. Facts are facts. If we pursue Brexit now, we will be compounding our suffering over at least 20-30-fold. And look, a no-deal Brexit, which very well likely was what Boris Johnson and his cronies wanted, was going to cause this country significant harm anyway. There has to be an extension, and that's it. But we're not here to talk about our government's, shall we say, stupidity today. We've got to look across the pond, and as bad as it often gets here in the UK, trust me, we've had some MPs and even our leaders do some absolute whoppers, certainly in the past 4 years. But at least some part of me likes to think that the British public would never elect someone at least as dumb as Donald Trump. However, Boris Johnson does certainly push those boundaries at the time. And we have to look at what, there was I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I can't remember if it was them or not now. But it was some sort of comedian who basically said Donald Trump is going to be the death of political comedy. And to a certain extent, I sort of agree. There's only really so many times you can make the joke that Donald Trump's a complete and utter idiot. And there is no doubt in anyone's mind, he does it daily on national television, and even has a Twitter account where he extols his idiocy daily. And this is where the worrying thing comes in, because his own son-in-law, Jared Kushner, of all people, and this just goes how, I'm really struggling for words to try and define just how dumb and stupid a decision this really is. So if you don't know what we're talking about, title of the video gave it away, but as of this morning, I think it was, we woke up to the news that Donald Trump has decided to pull the funding from the World Health Organization. He has decided America will pull its funding from the World Health Organization because, and this is the current, at the time of me doing this is the current reasoning. Whether this will change or not, We've got no idea. But he has said this, that the World Health Organization is being punished, and this is why he's taking their money, because they helped China try to cover up the coronavirus. There is no evidence that that has happened and that they helped to cover up. Now, there is a lot to say that the Chinese, when it first started, because they didn't realize how serious this would be, that they did try to cover it up. Now, that's the fault on the Chinese government. But give them their credit. When it did turn out, they did tell the world what was going on and have helped to try and mitigate this. Look, in China, in Wuhan, where it first started, the COVID-19 currently seems to be under control and getting sorted out. Compared to, let's say, Trump, who seemed to do nothing to prepare. I mean, this comes from a country at the moment, my own Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, spent a week doing nothing. And yet here we are, currently in the midst of the UK is prepared, from all the reports and looks like, we are going to be the worst hit European country by COVID-19. And this decision smacks of his insecurity, mostly because we've had, and experts have been from the World Health Organization have been criticizing Trump's response and people who have supported him response to this entire situation. Why on earth would you then decide to start striking back against experts who are trying to help you from doing this? You know, this is such an absolutely incredible, monumental, idiotic decision. At a time when we have a global pandemic, you need to have a global response. The World Health Organization is that global response. And here we are today, Donald Trump damaging absolutely not only just his own country's ability to respond to this crisis, but other countries around the world to be able to respond to this. And that's absolutely, it really does terrify me, because what if this was worse? I mean, fingers crossed it doesn't get worse, but what if the COVID-19, the virus itself, was even worse than it is now? You know, the Greeks coined the saying, "May you live in interesting times," when by no means it was a platitude meant to be something to say to someone. It was actually more meant as an insult. You know, may you live in interesting times, may there be troubles and woes placed upon you. And here we are in these god unfortunate times with one of the most powerful countries in the world run by an absolute idiot who seems to be having a meltdown daily on television. At least our leaders are trying to they're trying to mitigate the blame, although but badly, while trying simultaneously not to take responsibility for it. Although our press is now catching on to the situation that actually, maybe the Tories are to blame for this. Even the right-wing press and defenders of Boris Johnson are going after him. And make no mistake, in this country, there will be, and right-wingers and the far right, and it's even already happened in the Tory graph, or the Telegraph, have tried to make the case, and will make the case after this, that the NHS should be privatised. And that's the big thing that the Tories are certainly going to push. They are trying to push that narrative hard. But I'm lost for words on how stupid a decision Trump has made this morning. It goes beyond anything you would ever expect. But it's not. But I shouldn't really be surprised, because Brexiteers in this country, since the referendum and before that, have been extolling the virtues of the World Trade Organization, the WTO. But Trump is screwing that organization as well. Just that organization looks like it might not be able to stand very much longer. And once again, the hopes of all the Brexiteers of, we can go out on the WTO standard. The WTO might not be there for much longer. That was caused by Donald Trump. So there's only so long people can at least try and mitigate someone's, idiocy, at least when they're in power. There's spin doctors, supporters, whatever. But it shocks me that, he's there right now and that no one has done anything about it. It's unbelievable. But there you go. Not all of that. Another thing I heard just before doing this video, the guy who is the chief medical, I can't remember if he's the chief medical, I don't know what their term is, Falusi, I think that's how it is, the guy who's been like front and center of response, like the top advisor on this. Apparently over the weekend, Trump made motions to try and get rid of this guy. When this crisis is over, there will be reports into this. I am definitely one for us for happening in this country to an open and public inquiry into just what happened in this country and what the hell happened. And I encourage at least people in not Australia, in America, to do the same as well, because we already had was it Fire and Fury? Well, I tell you what, when that book comes out about this period of the Trump presidency and what the hell was going on in the administration, woo, that's going to be one doozy of a book.